what you're thinking, give me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're thinking, give me what you're drinking. You and me, we got something special, baby. You and me, you and me. I can think this was never meant to happen. You and me, you and me. I can't help it, I'm the man, send it in. I like what I like, me, I know my rights is sipping in. I like having fun, I do what I want, it's what it is. For my son and son, for my daughters, yeah, it's for my twin. I work through the night, I do what I like, get a check, I go for the ride. I've been down the ride for the win, still move on the hush, never run for none. I face my fears, I just drop for none, month to month, still from year to year. New watch, no diamonds, new watch, good timing, yeah. New watch, no diamonds, new watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty. Trusting myself to really know which direction I should go. What's meant for me will never stray. I tell myself this every day. So hard, so hard. Following my truth with the sun in my eyes. Big love can blind you, but I will be fine. Following my truth with the sun in my eyes. Big love can blind you, but I will be fine. It will be worth the wait, no matter what you do. Good things will come your way when you stay true to you. Can't listen what they say, it has to come from you. Go on and free your mind. Finding the forest through the trees. Sometimes I am so hard to please. So hard, so hard. Following my truth with the sun in my eyes. Big love can blind you, but I will be fine.
And welcome back to those of you who are currently in the stadium. We are going into the game for third and fourth between Kingston City Rollers, the Royals, and South Sea Roller Derby, Banshees. I'm Judy Bench, and I'm joined by... Oh,
Hello, I'm Dakota Blocker. I'm going to introduce the Royals from the Kingston City Rollers. We have number 1-2, Crush. Number 1-4, Code. 2-2, Screw. 2-7, Achilles Wheel. 3, Richardy Grub. 3-5, Carnage. 419, Commander Chaos. 5-4, Bash. 685, Spider Monkey. And 88, Raph.
And in the red, for the Banshees from South Sea, we have 01, the list is 1-2, Funny Mercury, 2-4, Chaos, 252, Jam Donut, 264, Scooby-Doo. Actually, I've noticed them with their camera, so we'll see if they're actually playing. 313, Princess, 325, Kim, 404, 500, Smiles, 77, Calamity Pain, 3 Vicious Citrus, 8 6 8 Monk, and 9 and Dog. So we're getting everyone into position with just under 10 seconds to go. The officials are having second chats and making sure everything's okay. Both teams are on track. Looks like we're going to start off with, I believe that's Spider Monkey. Fleabag. So Spider Monkey in the black, Fleabag in the red.
Lovely to see both teams of blockers catching up a little bit on the line before the whistle. Roller derby is a fierce and intense sport, but it's nice to see that we all get along.
Basically, once the whistle goes, who knows what's going to happen. But then once the whistle stops, everyone catches up and be like, oh, good play. That was awesome. Oops. Did I hurt you?
I forgive you, that was in the past.
That was so 5 seconds ago.
It looks like our officials are preparing.
Lots of discussion between head NSA and head ref.
Maybe a little bit of a technical issue.
They're on the floor charging.
So we've been doing the penalties with the iPads, so that you just remembering to come and grab them because they'll be charging in between games. And this is throwing Al a little bit, so always a good way to start a game, having the head so go, wait, what? But the 5 seconds has happened. So Fleabag out, 3 in the red. Spider Monkey with the Star Stash to get out as on their initial.
Fleabag pulls the jam.
Picking up 2 points there. So both these teams are going to be very strategic in regards to points protection and trying to make sure there's points differential happening. Both highly competitive teams with one another. We now have M-Dog up against, I believe, Screw.
Both jammers fighting separate paps at the moment. Screw making some progress. And makes it through the lead jam. M-Dog not far behind.
And South Sea finding themselves short 2 blockers. Kingston's going to take full advantage of calling the jam. And
We have here.
that would be Vicious Citrus and Richardy Grub.
And tell these two teams are super organised, super strategic and super neat. In no way like Geelong. And Richardy Grub just sneaks through that outside line.
And Citrus, unfortunately, to the penalty box. So definitely not the position the two South Sea blockers, Smarters and Frad would have liked to have found themselves in. However, they have managed to have reinforcements come in. Richard, you call it? Sorry, I should say grub. Grub. And they're sending Spider Monkey out for the rest of this power jam. Sorry, I always have to say Spider Monkey like that. It's such a good name.
It is. It is. You're stretching that pack right out before collecting lead jammer status.
Citrus has returned from the penalty box, but finding it very tough up against Crash and Bash. Crash and Bash, sorry. My brain automatically went to the rhyming instead of the correct names. So at the end of that jam, the Royals are 12 points to the Banshees 2. It looks like both packs out there in the and it looks like Screw for Kingston and Fleabag for the Sirens.
South Sea blockers heading back to give Fleabag a hand before reforming. Ready for Screw, who's looking to score some points. What a tasty little spin there, Fleabag. Fleabag's in position to score some points now. Both jammers through the pack at the same time.
So earlier the blocker advantage was to Kingston. We've currently got the blocker advantage to the Banshees. So able to get through a little bit quicker this time round. But going up against Code is never an easy thing to do. So in the last game I mentioned about like some of the juniors who have aged up and are playing. Code's probably one of the first in Victoria who did that. And they've been playing adults for quite a while now after coming through the juniors. So lots of derby knowledge out there with Code. We've got Grub. I'm going to assume it's Maddie just knowing the rotations. Yes, it is. So Ed Dog from South Sea picking up lead. Grub still on an initial.
M-Dog, second pass, looking to score some points with a bit of support from Chaos.
Next, we knocked them out. That was spot on there. And again, another former junior.
M-Dog really looks to have found groove at the moment. Just a little hop and a step.
So the Banshees there were holding Grub even after the start has happened. But when it occurred, they were just keeping it as a goat, making sure that Pack stayed in their advantage. but at the same time, you're looking at it going, have they realised there's been a star pass? Yes.
It is a tactic that can backfire, that's for sure.
It can, but when you've got someone like her watching, thankfully, they're aware what's going on. Spiderwitch is out there, and I believe Citrus.
Two very strong walls at the moment. Jammers working very hard. Those blockers giving up no space whatsoever. The Spider Monkey manages to stretch that South Sea wall forward and make it through the pack.
Just a little fun fact from the sidelines coming from Hawkeye. Hawkeye has been doing the Faces of Roller Derby book and has pointed out 5 of the 7 refs are actually in the Faces of Roller Derby book, including all 3 OPRs. How cool! So that's a bit of fun there.
That is. Bonnie Jovi with the classic hit out and run back. And with that, the jam is finished.
Yeah. So that was Citrus. I believe 1 scoring pass to Spider Monkey, making this a 2-point game in favour of the Banshees. I fully expect it to be tight pretty much the whole game. Kingston living up to their chant, tiny but mighty. So we're going to see a lot of the same players out on the track for multiple jams, rather high frequency. South Sea with a bit more depth there.
It's really enmeshed at the moment. Now that I've said that, they're spread apart. Both very, very strong and unforgiving. They're giving those jammers no leeway whatsoever. It's a jammer's nightmare, isn't it?
And once again, commentators curse as soon as you said they're grinding and finding it very difficult. Something happened, Fleabag manages to pick up lead.
A scoring pass.
And Screw has managed to get out on their initial as well.
Fleabag netting 2 points for South Sea.
And it just goes to show just how hard those blockers are all working out there. For the length of time that jam went for, 2 points was all that was scored. Those blockers were fierce. I mean, I see chaos and Donut most Sundays swimming together and going, "No, I don't want to face them. Not for me, thanks." It's a hard pass.
So each of the jammers caught in was both using quite different tactics. M-Dog with the success this time around. A lot of movement. Creating some space to get through.
The going straight into blocking, trying to delay M-Dog. M-Dog skates backwards and like, I'm gonna call it.
That's boring. It's for losers.
If you've got the skill, use it.
That's what the people want to see.
A little bit of flair, a little bit of show. So he's up again, up against Citrus.
Citrus stretching. Unfortunately, hit out and run back.
They made the mistake of taking a side up against Code. Code will push out as soon as they possibly can, every time.
Interesting cuts at the moment.
It's one of those situations where the pack is being defined by the bridges. So if one of them goes into offense, that's where the pack will be. So they've got to be very careful that they're not going to break pack to play offense, but they're also not going to cause their jammer to be stuck for longer than necessary.
Utterly delicious by Westy, and
Donut.
yeah, love to see it. Looking to score points, taking advantage of a few little gaps.
Now I just noticed that no lead has been given, and Citrus have taken off their helmet cover. So this is a jam. We've got like 10 seconds left by the time we go through this.
That's got to be the top 3 jammers' worst nightmares, right?
Definitely making the jammers work for it.
So he manages a cheeky 4 points.
And they actually managed a cheeky 12 for that whole jam.
Yeah.
Considering how long the blockers managed to hold the jammers to pick up 3 scoring passes in very quick time, that's pretty impressive. That's some speedy jamming.
Well, yeah, and to get the whole 4 points in the dying seconds, very well timed.
So we started with a power jam and some very, very old school truck and trailer screw taking advantage of Achilles running through the blocker pack, managing to get out for lead. Already through on their first scoring pass. Citrus is back on track, trying very hard to get through for their initial. Bodies on the floor, resulting in penalties given. So Monitor will be getting back up into the pack. Code heading to the penalty box.
Monk returning to the track to support Citrus.
I love that. Welcome back on. Have the helmet cover. So successful start pass and out on their initial. Code returning to the track. Unfortunately, I believe Raff picked up a penalty just as Code returned. So they are still short blockers.
James managing to pick up a few points there. And it's still a very, very close game halfway through this first half.
We've just noticed that Ham running into the middle to make sure that all the points had been picked up. And so it was in the situation two blockers in the penalty box. So as soon as one blocker is passed, they get the bonus of the other two that are in the penalty box. Unfortunately, Nick hadn't realised that there was blockers in the penalty box, so I was very quick on making sure that that was noticed.
And that's the beauty of having such an experienced crew. There's a lot to notice in roller derby. So you want somebody on your team that sees all those little things.
And not just seeing, but not afraid to run it in and go, hey, did you notice that?
Excuse me? I'd like two more, thanks.
Begging your pardon, you might have made a slight. Heckling his wife from the sidelines, going, let's really fix it. If you can't heckle your own partner, who can you heckle? The officials getting back into position.
We have Fleabag and Grub for this jam. A slow start. Serves Fleabag well. They've snagged lead jammer.
They also had the blocker advantage in their favour. So there had been two blockers in the penalty box. So a little bit easier for Fleabag to get past instead of a whole wall. There's good awareness in that situation, noticing that chaos had actually gone down, so they were safe to continue without resetting.
Sliding into the back of a tough South Sea wall, but recovering really well. So bendy. Jammer's out of the pack.
I was about to make a comment about all blockers out of the penalty box, and unfortunately Raf picked up a late penalty there. Don't worry, smiles, no one noticed. No one noticed, it was dance moves only.
Let's have the dance. We have M-Dog
And Spider Monkey.
Spider Monkey. Lots of two very quick, steppy, agile jammers. Not skills that I possess, but I'm endlessly impressed by.
Spider Monkey picking up lead. Dog right behind. And again, Kingston with a little bit of penalty trouble in regards to having the situation of only two blockers for a period of time. At the return of Raph straight into offense, helping Spider Monkey to be unlocked.
Oh, that's disappointing. M-Dog picks up a forearms penalty, which I missed because I was too busy looking at her feet. Spider Monkey's through the pack and calls off the jam.
So that was an 8-7 jam, I believe. Spider Monkey picking up an extra point there. Just over 9.5 minutes remaining. And at some stage, I'll remember to run through our officials. There's so much happening.
So we have a pack with a bit of movement. The Royals blockers setting up a really nice situation for Glug to score some points. M-Jog is back on track out of the bin. Again, utilising their ability to just sneak through the tiniest of gaps. Grub is through the pack.
Both teams losing a blocker.
And Grub scores another 4. M-Jog not far behind.
Saying before about both the jammers being really agile. Grab's another one that fits in the agile.
Yes.
But Grab's one of those jammers that can change their style. So they can be agile, but they can also be very, very good at the pushy.
Grub pulling off the jam. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we've had a bit of a spill.
It's all good. Just everyone double checking things, making sure it's all good. And we have Fleabag, Screw, I believe. Jam is blocked by Knickerbocker.
Oh, look at those balls. Hardly any give there whatsoever.
It's with 15 seconds in and we've only just hit halfway between the jam line and the pivot line. That's insane.
Fleabag, a cheeky little spin and out of the pack.
Just managing to get out in front of Screw. Bit of a 1-2 a frag had moved Screw towards the line, Smiles to Screw over.
An unfortunate run back for Fleabag, who's now back on track. Probably to take advantage of some little gaps that have opened up and calls the jam.
So managing to pick up 2 points there. 4 points. Some to Kingston. So Screw definitely with more luck in the jam. And Kingston's starting to put a little bit of a lead up. Still nothing too dangerous, but just starting to cement a little bit of a lead.
That's about 1.5 Power Jam's lead.
I'm just thinking back to the first game we played today. There was the 20 points in the final jam to take the game. That was pretty impressive by the teams. We've got him out there. So he played earlier today. And they're out there now from South Sea. And Grub's taking full advantage of all of the, I'm not going to say confusion or anything like that, but it's just people aren't quite looking at them, and Grub's just going, yep, let's go. If no one's going to pay me attention, I'm going to sneak them through.
Grub just cutting laps at this point. Him now in a position to score some points. A lovely little push through that seam to score, I would say 2, but we'll see.
With the angle of where I can't do my usual sneaky, let's check and see what the rat is behind their back.
So him just did a somersault.
Are we going to talk about that? That's it. It also resulted in an award to the blocker. So,
But what a recovery. I'm just going to do a backflip and get up and keep on skating, maybe score some points.
the other thing, my only note for that was, where was the showmanship gymnastic? And I'm stuck.
I think that comes with time and experience.
And so we have screw and dog, it looks like. I was wondering if that had happened, but I wasn't going to say anything until the call occurred. But then again, my eyes went 100% on that, so who knows?
And Bonnie Jones with the classic hit out and run back,
But
thwarted somewhat by Raf, but that's okay. They've recovered. They've recovered the triangle. Screw stretching the pack out. And M-Dog is back in play. Unfortunately, picking up another clutch track.
good communication between the OPRs and the JMFs to go, don't think that was quite right. So Jan's been called leaving M-Dog in the penalty box, allowing Kingston to send out Grub to take the power jam. And we've got a little bit of old school pivot play coming into action. At least the pivot start. Southsea picking up 8 penalties almost straight away there.
They did a really good job of reforming that triangle, though, in the face of 4 offense.
They playing a little bit of trying to catch the goat with Donut, but all letting Donut go because they knew that Donut was back on. God picking up 4 points there. Hit from Chaos, knocking Grub out. Not taking Grub out of the game though, because Grub's like, that's fine, I don't need a reset, I'm calling this.
Want your point anyway.
They already scored it earlier. Yeah. Citrus, is that Spider Monkey? Yeah.
That looks like a spider monkey to me.
Those pesky refs and the track, making it difficult to see.
Again, these walls are so composed and so strong. Spider monkey can taste that lead jammer, Bonnie making it very, very hard.
Big hit there, Citrus on the ground.
That was a big hit.
I think it was Achilles that did it.
Spider monkey threw for another 4 points.
And we have had a successful start pass from Citrus to Monk. That's pretty much in the same position that Citrus was in terms of finding out just how strong an Achilles, Bash, and Raph can be. Now, on the initial pace. In the meantime, Spy and Monkey already on 20 points for this champ. Calling it off. Did they manage a couple extras there? No. So finishing up on 20 points for the champ, taking us into intermission. Just
Is it the time already?
it is that time already. Just before we head off, we should probably run through quickly the officials, just so then we get to them. And we have the non-skating officials: Jackie O'Malley, Michaels, Howes Bells, Lexi Whistledown, Maddo Nineties, Never Ending Roy, and Jack Rabbit.
And then on skates, we have Ricker Mortis, Knickerbocker, Zarantula, Hypodermic, Jack Spite, Beasting, Murderface, and Gary.
With the intermission, it is the Royals now stretching that lead out 125 to 63 for the Banshees. And we'll be back in 11 minutes.
11 minutes?
On that.
Just a reminder to everybody, please remember to buy your raffle tickets. We will be drawing the first raffle prize, the big gate, at the end of this game.
Spike was coming on as she said that.
Gotta love it. Coming back from halftime, we have been given the heads up that we've got a couple of people in the crowd who have never actually seen Derby before. So this is probably the right time to watch roller derby. And picking up where we left off, we have the Royals 125 to the Banshees 63.
Just over 30 seconds until Derby.
All the officials just double checking everything, making sure all is right. Looks like Kingston will be starting with a slight blocker advantage, with one Banshee starting in the penalty box.
We have Screw and Fleabag jamming this next jam, but as you can see at the moment, just having a bit of a catch up.
What do you think they're talking about?
Baking.
We'll go with banking. Okay.
Maybe landscaping.
I wouldn't be surprised. Mm. Officials are now pretty much all in position. Jackie O'No waiting for the signal. There goes the rolling whistle. Game on.
Two fairly enmeshed walls at the moment. And still not a lot of movement.
Everyone's had a chance to gain their breath again.
Screws through the pack. Will be the lead jammer for this jam. Fleabag still fighting hard against the Royals wall. Screw on a scoring pass. Fleabag stretching the Royals wall out. Can't be too much longer before we are out of play and they're through. And Screw sneaks through on the inside apex there, scoring 4 points and calling it off.
And just noticing a couple of comments in the chat from the live stream. Keen for the next half? Of course we are, because let's face it, Derby is great. And I just said the most obvious thing possible with that. And a few cheers for the Banshees and a few cheers for the Royals.
Grub from the Royals' lead. M-Dog, so very close. Unfortunately, just popped out by Achilles. Run back a wee bit, but recovers really well and sprints up that outside line. And Grub pulls it off right before M-Dog is able to score any points.
But missed capturing Frad in the penalty box. Frad got out just as the whistles blew.
Timing of call-ups is crucial. You want them to think, I've got it, I've got it, I've got it. Sorry, no points for you. So now we have Spider Monkey and him jamming this jam. him making some progress. Unfortunately, receiving a cut track penalty. Heading to the bin. Spider Monkey is through. And looking to score.
Code very much doing what Code does best. Knock him out, run him back. And Bonnie's got to be outdone.
South Sea Blockers did a really great job holding on to Spider Monkey there in the face of 4 offensive players. Really made him work. But ultimately, Royals choose to call it off to create a power jam start with a new jammer and a new wall. South Sea Blockers running ahead to clear themselves some space in the face of 4-0. Big hit there for him.
I'm going to assume it was Bash on him. Just as Bash had the run back there. Commander Chaos with a little bit of offense. Just helping break up the wall a bit for Screw to get out for lead. But him also out on their initial. Neither team picking up a point there.
Double donuts.
Haven't had many double donuts in this game, have we?
I don't think so.
But that's okay because we have Hot Jam Donut out there blocking. Although I'd be terrified if there was double Hot Jam Donut out there blocking. One donut is enough.
Yeah.
It's
More than that
scary.
would just be unfair.
It's scary. So Fleabag up against Grub. Flea successful for lead.
Grub is free of the pack. Half a track behind. Some delicious footwork there by Fleabag.
Donut picking up a penalty right at the end there. So we are going to actually end up with double donuts again because it was donut just in that jam and donut again this jam. But that was a successful 4 points to 0 jam for the Banshees, calling it off in time. But Spider Monkey's just like, no, I'm taking a shortcut straight through, no delay.
You cannot give these jammers any kind of a gap.
I'm just looking at that tripod of Achilles, Bash, and Commander Chaos. And Dog is trying every which way to get through, and they just, those seams.
Beautiful little zigzaggy there by M-Dog to evade the last 2 Royals blockers. Spider Monkey calls the jam.
Going for points protection. Not worrying about that one final point. Not wanting to give up any to the Banshees. So we've got Fleabag and Screw out there.
See, both walls having a real advantage when they can fully set their tripod before the jammer hits. Screw is lead. Fleabag. Oh, so close. Unfortunately, being hit out and run back by Raph, while Screws come around to score some points.
Rath managing a nice long drawback there, which worked in the advantage of Screw because it meant that a lot of the Banshee blockers were actually blocking their own jammer as well. A successful star pass there. So Monkey's now our jammer. Hypodermic having to multitask there, count points, issue penalties, and call off a jam all in one. Managing to prioritise as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I don't know how refs do it, to be honest.
Seriously, some of the most unsung heroes.
Little bit of jammer on jammer off the line between M-Dog and Grub. That's a bit of fun. On M-Dog,
I don't know how, but hopping on one foot, spinning it around, and evading code at the same time. Pretty impressive. Picking up lead.
Grub using some big lateral moves to try and tease apart the South Sea wall. Unfortunately, picking up a penalty. So we will have a South Sea power jam. It's the M-Dog show for the next
However
20
long.
seconds.
Some big hits. And some fancy feet. That's what you want in Derby, isn't it? Big hits, fancy feet.
That's all. That's all. And a bit of glitter.
Zarantula was about to call a penalty and then reassessed it. Jam coming to an end just as Bash got the star in hand. So with a rather showy wave.
I mean, that's what you want when you take a star pass, isn't it?
A bit of showmanship.
Call it off.
I'll put on a show without having to worry about, am I quick enough? Am I going to get through? They've called it off. It doesn't matter.
I took a star pass in a game against South Sea once. Never again.
Back in my day. That's kind of what it sounded like there, Dax. I did that once. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that experience now. I don't need it again.
So in the meantime, Spider Monkey picking up lead, already back, re-engaging the pack for points. Citrus looking for the offense and trying to make it their way through, but Code once again with the drawback.
Spider Monkey cheeky run around the outside. And it's a Royals power jam. Little bit of a mutual tumble there. Everyone just checking on one another briefly before carrying on. South Sea again managing to hold on for quite a long time in the face of a lot of offense. And Spider Monkey calls the jam. Trapping citrus in the bin.
I'm just disappointed the camera hasn't been showing the Banshees bench. We've got Bombshell doing some amazing dance moves over there. Ooh. And thank you, General Payne, for zooming on in for those dance moves.
So Screw with a bit of a runner. Citrus is back in play. Lead is still anybody's. Screw
Unfortunately,
just opening up the inside line there, just enough for Screw to charge through.
some players getting a little bit distracted by the tape that's come up. So Jackie O knows all over it. That's what you want from your jam timer. Doing track maintenance in the middle of a game. Middle of a jam even.
Jam timer and track repairer.
Citrus star passing 2K.
Screw scores another 4 before calling it off. And there's the showmanship.
That deserves style points from Kay. Unfortunately, I don't think the live stream got it, but we just had a beautiful fall over nothing from Kay after taking the stars. So definitely won some points from us.
Rub and Fleabag are our jammers.
Fleabag picking up lead, Grub not far behind.
Yeah, Grub making up some distance here. Fleabag scoring 4.
That was interesting. I don't think the blockers played out the way that they were kind of expecting to from both teams.
And Fleabag managing. Hold on.
So Fleabag's still stuck in the pack, whereas Grub had picked up all 4 points.
Oh, yes, my mistake. I'm mixing up my jammers.
So in that case, Grub actually managed to pick up 2 extra points than what Flea did. So it was an 8-6 jam, even though they weren't lead. Taking the scores to 175 for the Royals, 81 for the Banshees. We have an official timeout as Jackie O'No is going back into track repair and track maintenance for us. Lots of conversations.
You can't do.
The discussion's still happening in the middle there by the players. Lots of catching up on the different things. I like that Jackie's having to do all the work and Knickerbocker's coming over just to make sure by rolling over it, making sure it's all stocked down.
Well, it is a well used part of the track.
True.
The old pivot
True.
line. And she's back. She's ready. She's got her whistle.
The direction's been given 5 seconds.
I love a bit of flair in the hand signals. I live for that. M-Dog just bouncing around a little bit like Tigger. Almost. Clearing.
That was very much a race to try and get back on track before Code had managed to draw back too far. Lots of whistles, a bit of confusion as to who penalties were on, meaning M-Dog took advantage of it, picking up lead. Spider Monkey very quick with the Star Stash. Trying to get past Chaos just goes, no, not letting you do that. And M-Dog sneaks through for some more points.
So both jammers picking up a bit of freedom. M-Dog calling off the jam before Spider Monkey is able to score. That's 7 points to 0 for that one.
There is very much I'm going to try for this last point. I'll stick my butt out action happening there, but the last blocker was onto it and just stayed ever so slightly in front. We have Fleabag and Screw. And a very slight blocker advantage for the Banshees.
Fleabag is our lead jammer. Screw making some progress.
Getting past Smiles as the last blocker there.
Banshees coming in to clear some space for Fleabag. Enable them to score some points.
Some very fast recycling there. And trying to get themselves back in front of Screw. Screw's just like, no, not going to happen. I'm going to get past. South Sea deciding to run it at the moment.
Unfortunately, Fleabag picking up a backlock penalty in the midst of all that chaos.
I didn't see the hand signal, unfortunately. But it was very much one of those, you have to roll the dice and take a risk, and unfortunately it didn't pay off this time.
Oh, absolutely. You got to try stuff.
Especially when you're behind, you've got to try and work out at what stage can we gain points if we don't run it.
Screw enjoying her last seconds of the power jam. Fleabag is back in play.
Straight into a 4. Not quite a square, but maybe a rhombus. Flea managing to pick up 4 points there right at the end. So that takes the score 191 to 96. And we have under 10 minutes remaining.
Gosh, that's unbelievable. That's gone so fast. For us, maybe not for them.
It's a lot easier when you sit behind a desk with a mic.
Oh, absolutely. And Grub just shooting through.
And avoiding the chaos bullet. So Grub with lead. M-Dog stuck behind Code, Raf, and I cannot see the last one. Maybe Carnage? No. Crush. Crush had gotten low. I didn't realize it was them.
Got some nice slow derby at the moment.
It's almost a scrum-like. And it's happening right in front of us, so this is always good. Can see most of what's going on.
Both jammers really thinking about their approaches here. Grub very, very patiently testing links, moving the wall around until an opportunity presented itself. M-Dog doing much the same. It's very cool to watch.
Achilles being very strategic with when they're bridging and when they're going into offense. Unfortunately, went in a little bit too forearmy this time round for the offense. I'm very quick on the timeout call. That was a 7-point jam there for Kingston, which takes them now to a 101-point lead, or 102-point lead, sorry, 198 to 96. So just during this timeout, we'll take a moment to just remind people that we do have stalls, we have raffles. Remember, at the end of this game, we will be doing the draw for the big gay couch, the best seats to watch the grand final action from. I'd say not just the best seats, but the comfiest seat, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. It is cushy as cushy can be. It's warm.
Yeah, I noticed all the blankets on it, so good cozy time. So make sure you're in the entry for that. The other raffles will be drawn at half time during the grand final. And I believe that there was a kids pack, a skates pack, a day in and a day out pack. Is that correct?
That's correct. And you can have a look at all of the prizes up near the entrance and go into the draw for whichever one you prefer.
Getting things underway again. We have him up against Spider Monkey. And him picking up lead.
And people are excited. Must be one of those things you love to see. Him now approaching for soaring pass. Spider Monkey still working hard on that South Sea wall.
Part of the reason, and part of the reason for the cheers is because him is normally one of the Krakens, and so they are stepping up and filling in for the Banshees. So it's always good when a Kraken manages to successfully play in and amongst the Banshees. So lots of cheers from the various Krakens still around for support and the Banshees on the bench.
Oh, and I've just noticed the Banshees have cracked triple digits. 100 to the Royals 198.
Going into an official timeout as there's a few things being double checked. The refs were not all in position as they were double checking stuff with the penalty box. So now everyone's back into position. We have just over 6 minutes remaining. Fleabag up against Screw. Both of them trying on the outside line. Screw managing to reset quicker because Code has once again drawn Fleabag all the way back.
Oh, a little tumble from Fleabag on the way through the pack.
I was about to say, you know, yeah, had the drawback, but that gave them the room and the speed to get through untouched, and with that, they hit the ground.
Well, this is the
Whoops.
thing. I don't always rate the excessive run back as a tactic because you got to be ready when they come back on. And you don't want it to be a jammer that loves a bit of space.
Yeah, and Fleabag is one of those jammers where an inch is too much space sometimes.
Half an inch is too much.
So we have M Dog, and is that Grub? I believe it is Grub. And Grub hitting a very, very solid formation of Banshees.
M-Dog taking on Raf and Bash. Bash picking up a penalty for a bit of a,
I'd say low block.
yeah.
We'll go with low block. Both jammers out. M Dog with lead.
Grub unfortunately picking up a penalty. Well, unfortunately for the Royals, it is an M-Dog power jam.
So it was a case of the Banshees rolling the dice because there was only two blockers out there for Kingston, and in this situation worked out in their favour because they managed to get a power jam out of it. Kingston now has all blockers returned to the track, so a lot more difficult this time to get around.
And Grub is back in play. So we have both jammers in play. M-Dog making some progress, unfortunately. Losing
Bash,
it
yeah.
again with the run back.
Bash this time instead of Code.
And Grub is through the pack. M-Dog calling the jam.
I love that. Calling the jam with 2 seconds remaining on the jam clock.
It's over when I say it's over.
You've got to protect your points. So it was a 12 to 4 jam there. Allowing the Banshees to keep it under 100 points the difference.
Spider Monkey charging through, securing lead jammer status. Citrus still working, prying apart that Royals wall. Spider Monkey in the pack again, working hard against a Banshees wall that's not giving much at the moment. Creating some space with some lateral movements and then eventually hopping around the inside line.
And in the meantime, that Royals wall or tripod, solid as it's been pretty much all day. It's an interesting tripod because it's been, it's one where they're a little bit separated, so they're ready to catch and become the tripod fully and stably, but they're not all linked together all the time.
You got to be flexible in this game.
Code picking up a penalty.
Unfortunately, picking up a direction penalty whilst trying to assist Spider Monkey with the Banshees wall. Both jammers working incredibly hard right now. Incredibly hard. Citrus gets through just as the whistles sound.
Unfortunately, not counted as getting through. The sad duck, sad swan hand signal.
It's not all about points.
Sad giraffe. Yeah, anything with a long neck. And I'm just going to say we have almost a palindrome, not quite, in the scrolls.
Again, two fairly immovable walls and two very hardworking jammers. Screw ultimately having success in securing lead jammer status for this jam. Fleabag still working, creating some gaps. And Screw just pounding through that wall for 4 points. Fleabag stretching, and that might be the game.
That's the unofficial score of 225 to 112. We're just waiting to see if anything happens. So that was looking like it was the last jam. Almost didn't realise. Just waiting for the rolling whistle before it has been deemed all done and dusted. I can see Jackie checking to make sure Zarantula and Mick are all okay. There's the rolling whistle, so that unofficial is now official. And that means that Kingston City Rollers, the Royals, are our third place team at the statewide Stampede.
Well, how about that?
So the Royals taking third, Banshees taking fourth. Later on, there will be a trophy presentation after the grand final. And with that, we will leave you to watch the final little bit, skate around, all that kind of stuff. I've been Judy Bench,
And I'm Dakota Blocker.
and we'll see you. Well, I was going to say see you next time, but you won't. I will.
I don't want to talk about that. No, I'm just like, because you're already here. Do you guys want to do that? See if they can, like, say they got 5 minutes. And I'll take this back and see if we're selling.
Alrighty. Hang on. So Cherry Bomb will be selling our last tickets. We've got 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes to buy your tickets to win the coveted position of those seated on the big gay couch for the grand final, the 10-year anniversary of Statewide Stampede.
should go. What's meant for me will never stray. I tell myself this every day. So hard, so hard. Following my truth with the sun in my eyes. Big love can blind you, but I will be fine. Following my truth with the sun in my eyes. Big love can blind you, but I will be fine. It will be worth the wait, no matter what you do. Good things will come your way when you stay true to you. Can't